Thank you all for tuning into Big Mama Story Time. Story Time! Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment to my page. Here we go. Hi guys, thank you all for tuning into Big Mama Story Time on today. Today I will be reading to you guys another Halloween story. It is a Disney Scary Storybook Collection. It is from the Disney Scary Storybook Collection. And I think it has about 10 stories. If I'm not mistaken, 12, probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. I was all off. It's 15 stories in this book, and I will be reading every one for this October. The first story I will be reading is Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. All right, Jack's story. Every year, on the last night of October, all the ghouls, ghosts, and goblins of Halloween Town went haunting. Always leading the way was Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King. Jack was the best. A wave of his bony hand could scare a grown man. His moans made heroes tremble, and yet Jack was bored with it all. Every year, it's the same thing, Jack thought as he walked through the forest with his ghost dog Zero. Jack felt an emptiness in his bones. Jack and Zero walked all night. Finally, they reached a grove of unusual trees. Jack had never been there before. One tree had a heart-shaped door. Another had a shamrock. A third had a decorated egg. And the fourth had a turkey. But the one that caught Jack's eye had a strange tree planted on it. It was a Christmas tree. Jack opened the door. In a flash, it was sucked down the tree, and he was sucked down the tree and soon found himself sitting in a snowbank. In Christmas Town, every tree around him was a Christmas tree. Every house glowed with colored lights. There were toys and mistletoe and snowflakes everywhere. Despite the cold, Jack's heart felt warm. Jack raced back to Halloween Town, a huge grin spreading across his skull. At Town Hall, the ghouls all gathered around to hear what Jack had to say. Jack started to explain about Christmas, the presents, the Christmas tree with lights, and the stockings filled with toys. All the ghouls had lots of questions for Jack. They were especially interested in the toys and wanted to know if they snapped, bit, or exploded. But no one really understood except Sally. Sally liked Jack better than anyone. She believed in him, but she didn't like his idea of Halloween Towns trying out this Christmas thing. It sounded like trouble. Jack decided to study up on Christmas to find out what it was all about. He read every Christmas book he could find. He squished a holy berry to see what was inside. He stripped the candy cane of his stripes. He even pulled the stuffing from a teddy bear and crushed a Christmas ball. But still, he didn't know what it all meant. Jack stayed in his tower for days. He finally came out when he realized that there was no reason why he couldn't handle Christmas. In fact, he thought he could make it even better. Jack gave everyone a job. The vampires made toys. Sally sold a red Santa suit for him. And 3 ghouls named Lock, Shock, and Barrel had the most important task of all. They had to kidnap Santa Claus so Jack could take his place. Oh, wow, Jack. Regardless of what, you still Halloween. Soon it was Christmas Eve. Sally gave Jack the Santa suit to put on. "You don't look like yourself, Jack," Sally said sadly. "Isn't that wonderful?" Jack said. Jack climbed into his sleigh. He gave a signal to a skeleton reindeer, and with Zero leading the way, the reindeer pulled the sleigh up into the sky. Jack landed at the first house in Christmas Town. A little boy named Timmy heard him come down the chimney. "Santa!" the boy shouted. Jack grinned his biggest grin as he handed a present to Timmy. The boy opened the box. Inside was a shrunken head. Timmy screamed. "Merry Christmas!" said Jack. Jack traveled from rooftop to rooftop. At every house, he left behind tricks, not treats. A killer wreath, an evil wooden ducky, a biting doll. The screams followed him through Christmas Town. To Jack, the screams meant happiness. He didn't know any better because that's what they meant in Halloween Town. Right, exactly. But the people of Christmas Town weren't happy. They called the police. The police called the army, and the army launched its missiles into the sky to shoot down the mysterious skeleton in the sleigh. "Santa, come back and save Christmas!" cried the townspeople. They had no idea that Santa was in no position to do that. Meanwhile, Lock, Shock, and Barrel had taken Santa to Oogie Boogie's dungeon. Oogie Boogie was most foul and evil creature in all of Halloween Town. Jack's friend Sally was Santa's only hope. She was trying to fix all of Jack's mistakes. It's crazy his name is Oogie Boogie. I actually call my nephew Ooga Booga. But that's just me. And no, I did not get it from that. I didn't even know nothing about that name. It's crazy, guys. "I'll get you out of here," Sally whispered to Santa. She tricked Oogie Boogie into looking the other way. And then she untied Santa. But just as the two were escaping, Oogie turned around. In an instant, Sally and Santa were once again taken captive. Meanwhile, high in the sky over Christmas Town, missiles streaked by Jack's sleigh. Jack smiled. "They're thanking us," he said. Then a missile hit one of Jack's reindeer. Jack's smile disappeared. "They're trying to hit us," he cried. Suddenly a missile hit the sleigh and it broke into pieces. Jack and Zero tumbled down toward the ground. The terrible news about Jack's sleigh being blown to smithereens reached Oogie Boogie's dungeon. Sally gasped. Oogie laughed. He grabbed the lever and the table Santa and Sally were tied to tilted over a vat of boiling stew. They slid down the table, but when Oogie didn't hear a splash, he pulled the table back. Jack's smiling face greeted him. Jack had survived the crash, and it had knocked some sense into him. He wasn't Santa Claus. He was the Pumpkin King. Exactly, Jack. Jack knew he had to set things right, so he headed to Oogie's to find Santa Claus. Jack, but they said you were dead, Oogie cried. First, Oogie Boogie tried to capture Jack, but Jack was too quick. Then Oogie tried to escape. Jack tugged on a string hanging from Oogie's body, and Oogie started to unravel. He was made entirely of bugs, spiders, and snakes. Ugh. "My bugs!" Oogie wailed as the creepy crawlies began escaping. Soon, there was nothing left of Oogie. Jack apologized to Santa, and Santa, being Santa, forgave him. Then Santa lifted a finger, and in the blink of an eye, he was gone. He still had to fix Christmas. Soon after, Sally left Oogie's dungeon. Jack followed her to the cemetery. Finally, she stopped at the top of Spiral Hill. Jack stood next to her. Oh, that's where that image came from. Yeah, I never saw this before, I'm just saying. Heard of it, but I don't remember. I think I watched it when I was younger, but I don't really remember the movie. Jack had finally realized what would fill the empty place in his heart. It was Sally, his dearest friend. Sally held her hand out to Jack. He took it. Far above them, a Christmas star twinkled brightly in the sky. Oh, all right, guys. That is the end of A Night Before Christmas. I believe, yes. Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. All right, guys. I hope you like that book. I read that. I remember watching the book when I was younger, but I remember watching the movie rather when I was younger, but I haven't watched this movie in a very long time. So a lot of that I didn't even remember. I didn't even know. So this is something new to me. All right, guys. I hope you like this book. Let me know if you've seen the movie recently. Or if you're older and you saw it later when it was younger, and then you saw it recently when they just remade it. I want to know because I haven't seen the difference or anything. I don't even think I remember the difference, but anyways, all right, guys. Thank you all for tuning into Big Mama Story Time. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe to my page if you haven't done so already. All right, guys. Bye.